Welcome back to the Retro Sports Gamer channel. It's your boy Green Majik. We are continuing the series Jam Rules with Green Majik, where I break down and play through all the teams in NBA Jam Tournament Edition for Super Nintendo. Before I continue, I'm going to pop out a chat here. Got a lot of content on the channel today. Soon after I'm done with this video, we've got Troy GB-Land doing some Tecmo Super Bowl playoffs. He's a great knowledge of Tecmo Super Bowl and NHL '94, and a excellent commentator on that. And then later tonight, Lumberjack Cracks is coming back for some late night with Lumberjack Cracks, so that should all be fun stuff. What's up, SS4 Suncoon? You found a retro arcade bar in Buffalo. That's awesome. I guess that's Lou. That's Mort's brother. What's up, Mort? Also see you in the chat. Been enjoying Mort's Tecmo 101 videos. Been playing some this game. As well as some other ones, some NHL '94 and so forth. So we're gonna get started here. Today we're playing through what number? The 10 through 18th best teams in this game. Last video I did 1 through 9. So we're gonna continue with that trend. First we got to go to options, turn on tournament mode, turn on tag mode, so we can control both players. So gonna go in here. We're starting with the 10th best team, in my opinion, is the Golden State Warriors. A very good overall team. I love me some Warriors in this version of the game. They just got some great balance. They can really hang with quite a lot of teams in Tier 2 is where I put them. So we go over to them. We've got some Gugliotta, we got Sprewell, and we got some Mr. Ronnie Cycli. So key thing about the Warriors, pretty balanced, got some good speed, got some good power, but it really starts with Tom Gugliotta. I would say is almost a top 10 player in the game. Suncoon, aka Lou, saying no NBA Jam, but I know another place with the later version of NBA Jam. Yeah, I love all those arcade cabinet jams. There's a lot of fun old school b-ball. And Matt Stanky popping in, also known as Lumberjack Cracks. Thanks for the plug. It's going to be a hot night. That's right. Hopefully I get us with a good start. Troy continues the baton, and you just slam it home tonight with that late night. That late night viewership. So we got the Warriors here. This is a long time ago from the current Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and all those guys. But they had some stars themselves. Tom Gugliotta ranked very well in this game. We look at his baseline stats, like I like to call them, speed and power. He's got 7 speed, 8 power, and that's just a really good baseline for a player. But then he's a very good offensive player. 7 on three-pointers, 7 on dunks. That's some really good balance. It's got some inside and outside game. 7 on threes might not sound incredible, but it's a very consistent number. Then you go to Sprewell, a little lower on the baseline stats, 6 speed, 4 power. But that's still decent. He can whip around a little bit, and then he's slightly better on offense. He's got 7 on threes and 8 on dunk. So also a good inside-outside game. These are just some hard guys to defend. On defense, low on the steal, but high on the block. So Gugliotta, I rank, like I said, nearly a top 10 player in the game, and Sprewell is a very solid Tier 2 player. We go to Ronnie Cycli. He's not given great attributes in this version of the game, which is fine. He really is a baller in the original NBA Jam consoles. For whatever reason, they give him, like, in one of the versions, they make him a really good three-point player. I think it's in the Genesis. he's just a baller of a three-point player. And then in Super Nintendo, they changed his attributes and is just like a standard big guy. But so 3 speed, 6 power, not great. On offense, he does have the inside game with the dunks. Not the threes, but that's fine because you already got a couple three-ballers on the team. Low on steal and high on block, and kind of like Spreewall. So you got some guys that can defend the rim. Everyone on this team can dunk. You got 2 three-ballers, and you got some good speed with Gugliotta and Spreewall. So this is just a really nice team I like to play with. We're going to lock it in. And if we're going strategy, it really is about Gugliotta, getting the most out of him because he's such a great player in this game. So if I'm going up against another Tier 2 team probably in a tournament, I'd probably stick Gugliotta at the first slot for the first quarter. Spreewall can be in the second slot. I'll sub Spreewall out in the second quarter, bring in Cycling, and then third period can be some Spreewall action. But we really want to get the most out of Gugliotta. We're going to lock it in. What I'm also going to do is we're going to talk some offensive strategy while we're playing with the Warriors here. So each quarter, I'm going to bring up a different strategy point. So it sounds really basic, but we're going to begin the first quarter. Nice pass by Spreewell. We are going to just talk about bringing the ball up the court. It sounds a little mundane. Nice swing and whip by Gugliotta. But when you're playing in a tournament, you're going to have that drone coming after you like that. You're also going to have the user coming after you. So what you want to make sure to do is you really don't want to be pushed over. It sounds obvious, but if you can avoid getting pushed, then you can at least set up a play versus getting pushed. That's a turnover, and I really want to instill the idea that turnovers are precious in this game. So even though you kind of want to like la-di-da bring it up, you really do want to be kind of moving back and forth. I mean, just look at how Mookie, you get those fast drones, and he's really tough to shake. So you do eventually need to make an offensive move. And so even if you get a turnover, I'm really careful about going into the lane. You got both those guys there. I could pull up for a three. But if you do go inside, you do want to kind of make sure you have that opportunity. So a lot of times when I'm setting up an offense, I'm kind of hanging out right here. I'm seeing what develops, and then I might go in for the dunk like that if I feel like I beat my guy. So some of it has to do with what your drone is doing, like Spreewell winning the drone battle right there. That's really nice because that gives you more options, kind of clears out the lane. So sounds basic, but when you do want to be focused when you're bringing the ball up, your drone is, sometimes your drone will get open like that. You just want to keep all those things in mind. We've already gotten to the end of the first quarter, so sounds basic. All I wanted to say with that quarter is just be mindful as you bring the ball up. It is an arcade game, so if you want to just dribble up, slam dunk, or dribble up and toss a three, that's fine. But in tournament play, you really want to take advantage of all of your possessions. And so that's what I tried to do in that quarter. Next quarter, we're going to talk about three-pointers. So it is time to give Spreewell some rest. He's going on the bench. Gugliotta, only 2 injuries. That's not bad. He does have that 7 three-pointers and 7 speed. I mentioned both of those because with speed, you can get open for the three. And that's one of the biggest points of being successful with three ball in this version of the game is being open. You want to be open, you want to time it well, and those are the main, and also the spots that you shoot them from. So those are the 3 things you want to keep in mind. Cycling, not a good 3-point shooter, but that's fine. He's kind of there just to be the drone, and we'll lock it in with Gugliotta here. The easiest way I like to go for threes is just kind of like get open myself. I think of it as like a step back 3. So you bring it. Oh. Got to get that ball back if I'm going to go for a 3. Cycly doing some drone things. Man, Blaylock really is a good drone. So this is one of the spots that's the most consistent for three-pointers. I guess you would call it above the break in basketball terms. I might be slightly off on that. But that's one of the most consistent. You saw me just do a step back three. The best time to go for a three is after, is not right there, is after your defender kind of makes an attack move on you, like a swat or a push. And that leaves you just a second of, you see him, they kept trying to get the ball from me, so I was able to like get a little space and go for three. You really want to be open, and if you have a wide open shot, I mean, if you get a turnover and there's no one guarding you, and you're a three baller like Gugliotta, you really want to get to that open spot. And so there, I hit it from above the break again, just from the opposite spot. So those are kind of, above the break is one of the main. The corner, I find a lot of success from, even though I missed it on fire. Did kind of have someone in my face. But, the bottom corner, if you can get some space, and then the top corner as well. And other than that, I don't, unless I'm really feeling it, I don't feel particularly confident. Some in my three-pointers, sometimes you can have some success from the spot. I was about to pull it up there. But really, it is about the corners and above the break. And like I was saying, as far as the timing, you really want to release it at the very top of your animation. And that's why you need to be open. Not only because the game will give you more success when you're open, but that gives the maximum amount of time for the defender trying to get in there, but he won't get to you in time if you are able to get open. So anyway, nailed some threes with Googs, missed quite a few, but I hope you got what I was trying to say. The three-pointers are about trying to be open. You're releasing at the top of your shooting frames, and you want to hit, you want to go to a purposeful spot, whether it's above the break on either side or from the corners. And it feels like certain players do really well from certain spots. I don't know if that's true. I know in later midway games like Showtime, I think they had literal hot spots, like your player was money from certain invisible spots on the board. I can't say that that's the case in this version of the game. I don't think they were thinking that down the line, but that's what it feels like. So anyway, that was three-pointer. So that's from the outside. We're gonna go with some spree wall here, give Gugliotta a break. You really want your user in the first slot to have to be fresh or have very low injuries. So Gugliotta had 0 obviously to start. He had 2 in the beginning of the second quarter. Now we got some fresh spree wall. Cycly's going to be a little slow, but hopefully he can hold his own against the power duo we got with Willis and Ogden on the other side. So Spreewell's on fire. That's nice. It's going to make him fast. But I want to talk about dunks. It's fun to just go for dunks like that. They look really pretty. That's part of like why this game is so fun. Tim Kitzrow is saying funny things, but trying to dunk from far out here. But they not always successful, especially if you got Augment, who's 7 on blocks, and Willis, who's 9 on block. There I just dunked through. Maybe it was Augment there. But ideally, you don't want to be trying to dunk over people. If you want to dunk on like a point guard, like Mark Price or somebody, that's fine. He's probably not going to block you. But you don't want to just be pell-mell throwing up dunks like right there when you got guys contesting it at the rim. So Willis kind of gave an example of what I wanted to talk about, which is quick dunks under the hoop, and that one wasn't there. But sometimes you can use the shoulder tosses. They're hard to do against the computer, But if you tap the turbo like that, you can sometimes clear some space for you there. So I see some people entering in the chat. Hello, Vance's Mini Console Games. Glad you could check in. Continuing my playthrough, NBA Jam TE on Super Nintendo. And hello, Stutter and Stick 23. Good to see you. Hope you've had a good day so far. So, you know, trying those elbows. Sometimes it does give you a little space, but for the most part, you know, you do want to try to make your dunks as quick as possible. The highfalutin ones are really fun to look at. You can dunk if you have a high power dunker and someone with low attributes. You have a pretty good chance of landing it. But if you're going against Augment and Willis, you don't want to just like willy-nilly dunk in there. They're going to block you quite a bit. So that's kind of what I tried to show in that quarter. Was kind of dunks with the inside game. So now it's the fourth quarter. We're Cycly's done. Thank you for your work. 12 injuries. Hit the shower. Gugliotta and Sprewell, which is the core duo of this team. And I'm gonna try to show some good passes. I don't pass a lot when I'm playing this game because it really is easier to control what you're trying to do. Just going solo like that. But sometimes the best time to pass is when you are you're driving to the lane like Gugliotta was there. And the drone more or less gets open. And that was nice D by Blaylock there. He cleared both of us. So if I scored with Gugliotta, let's go ahead and do that. I scored with Gugliotta, right? So I could score again, but you can kind of run a, Sprewell losing the ball. You can kind of run a play. Man, Willis is fast. So Gugliotta getting open in the corner, railing that three. Now is heating up, and I'm Gugliotta on defense. So now it's easy for Gugliotta to get on fire. He just goes in there and gets that fire. Fire is critical in this game. You just want to make it happen. So passes, for the most part, are used to set up good shooters. Other than that, I don't use them all that often. And that's part of the reason why when it comes to attributes, I just kind of throw out the passing attribute. You know, you're going to have a lot of point guards in this game, like John Stockton, Mark Price, guys like that. They're going to be really high on passing, and I feel like that's just kind of a waste of an attribute, honestly. Like, it really doesn't give you that much. It's like, so you can pass a little faster, that's cool. But for strategy, you really just want to use the one guy and pass minimally. Pass specifically only to set up a drone if he's getting open for a good shot. That's right, Vance is saying it's the right time of year to watch some NBA basketball. That's right. We got the NBA playoffs wrapping up. I think it's game 6 or 7 coming up. 6 Thursday and potential 7 Saturday. So yeah, hoping a lot of people, you know, get that nostalgic bug and want to watch some Jam. Stutter and Stick, new to the channel. So good to have you, man. Glad you're watching some Jam today. So Vance saying there are a lot of retro sports gamers here. That's true, and you're actually going to see 3 of them today. I'm doing some NBA Jam Tournament Edition. A little later, Troy GB-Land is going to do some Tecmo Super Bowl. He's got a playoffs that he is commentating, and so that'll be really fun to see. And then even later, we got Matt Stanky, who's saying "Go Raptors." He'll be doing some Late Night with Lumberjack Cracks, which has been a favorite series on this channel, so a lot of retro sports gamers on the channel for sure. So Sun Kun saying being a ball hog, folks. That's right. You got to play some Hero Ball and NBA Jam, and really it comes down to numbers. It's like, can I outplay my avatar? Can he outplay the other guy? You know, that's what it comes down to. You know, 5-on-5 basketball, you would want to get more creative, want to get more passing in. You know, set up the screen, blah blah blah. But in Jam, it's just 2-on-2, y'all, and you can get open for the shot, open for that dunk, make it happen. Stutter Sick thought he was the only one that liked retro sports games. That's not true, man. There are a lot of good games. A lot of them people know about, like NBA Jam, Tecmo Super Bowl, NHL '94. But there's a lot that people don't know about, and hopefully down the line we can do videos on those games. Like Matt and Tom a while ago did some Super Tennis. They for Super Nintendo, they were just kind of like playing around this cheap game that they got, and honestly, that's a low-key great game, great sports game for the Super Nintendo, and I need to do an in-depth review on that someday. So there's a lot that people don't know about. Vance is saying, really excited about Tecmo 101, who appears to have a lot of analysis training videos for 94 and Tecmo Super Bowl. Going to show him support. That's right. Tecmo 101 is the one and only Mort. He did some great videos. He knows Tecmo Super Bowl better than just about anybody else, and is one of the best players. So you really can take to the bank what he says about Tecmo for sure. 94, we're all learning that game, and he's got some really good insights into that as well. Just kind of has those eyes and those skills of a pro gamer. So very valuable info he's got over there. And Mort saying, I find passing works way better for long passes compared to Sega, but I also don't think it would mean much when I play you because you're off-screen shove game. That's true. That's a good point. If you have a good passer, you can sometimes confuse the your defender because you're passing off screen. You pass from your defensive screen and your drone is on the offensive side. You pass it down there and your drone might be open for an easy dunk or shot. But with players like me who are wise to that, I'm back there and I might be shoving your drone even though you can't. The screen doesn't show them because I'm looking at the arrows. And that's kind of an elite skill that I've picked up over the years. But you know, not everyone's capable of doing that. But that is one of the skills that can kind of negate passing. No. Matt's saying, I don't know what I'm playing tonight yet. It might be Tony Hawk. Could be Golf Story. Ooh, both of those sound good. The people love some Tony Hawk. Great soundtrack. I even like the sound effects, hearing those wheels hit the cement. That's just a great game. I need to get me back into the Tony Hawk game. That's more of the 64-bit era though. So when I'm done playing some of these games, maybe I'll check that out. Vance saying, looking forward to seeing you do some work, Matt. Matt's a great gamer. Always got good stuff. Stuttering 6 saying, I wish I had friends like you guys around to play retro sports games. You know, that's very heartwarming, Stuttering Stick. There are ways to play online though. I don't know much about technology. It took me a long time to figure out this streaming situation. Got a lot of help from friends. But you can play NHL '94 online. You can play Tecmo Super Bowl online. If I knew more about technology, I'd find a way to get people to play NBA Jam online. But maybe that's down the road after I learn a few more things. But that is a way to kind of be a part of the community, even if you don't have buddies that you can go play with on Monday nights like we can. Matt saying, thanks Vance, my work is mostly in awkward commentary. Dude, Matt, that's part of your brand, and it's awesome. Keep it up. Mort saying, thanks Vance, I've always been a big time Tecmo Super Bowl player, but I want to develop a universal video gaming training system. That's cool, man. Mort, if there's someone to do it, you're the dude, man. I know Jam, but you know all the games, so Give us what you got. Sun-kun, Sports Talk Baseball, Eternal Champions, my fave low-key retro games. We've checked some of those out recently, and they are really good. Mort loves Sports Talk Baseball. He wasn't able to convert all of us yet, but maybe we just got to give it more reps. And Eternal Champions, a good boxing game. I love me a good boxing game. Southern Stick saying, you guys play NBA Hang Time? I love me some Hang Time. That might be one of the next series I do for the channel. Hang Time Rules with Green Majik. Super Nintendo, Genesis. I don't have a PS1. But what else is it on? Probably a couple other. 64. I would do those three. Super Nintendo, Genesis, 64. So shoving those off-screen arrows, baby. That's right, Kevin. That's those elite skills that you got to bring to tournament day, and you got to just you got to shut them down. We're actually going to talk some defense here. I should move on to the next game so that freeing up the channel for Troy tonight. I'll get to the other comments soon, but real quick breakdown of the bullets. I actually accidentally broke them down the last video because I don't know, I spaced out. I was supposed to break down the Majik, and I did the bullets instead. Which is kind of funny. Weber was drafted by the Majik and traded to the Warriors for Penny Hardaway, so obviously a significant crossover. But anyway, also Scott Skiles is in the bullets in this game. He is in the Majik in the original jam. But I digress. Bullets, man. All about Weber. He is a, you could call him S tier. He's a tier 1 player for sure. That 8 speed 9 power is just so dominant. He can cover the court. He's got the 8 dunk, powerful inside game. He's got that 8 block. He's going to defend the rim. 4 on 3s is low, but for a big guy, that's not bad. I'll take it. 3 on steal, not great, but he's going to be stealing with his speed and power. Talbert Cheney, he's a player that's grown on me, honestly. I used to get wary of that 2 power. I was like, the bullets are basically an elite player Weber and 2 weak 3-ballers in Cheney and Skiles. But Cheney, man, with that 8 speed and that 8-3, he can get open. 2 power is low, tough to play D, but he does have 7 steal and 4 block isn't that bad. So he's not an elite player, but I'll put him in tier 2. 8 speed, 8-3 is very significant in this game. Scott Skiles, even worse on power and is short to boot, but he's repping that Majik jersey, baby. His 7 speed and 9 on 3s, and I'm telling you guys, that is a vicious combination. 0 on dunk, but so he's not going to be dunking on the Chris Webbers of this game, but I've seen him dunk before. That 0 dunk is really just kind of like they got to give 0 to someone, so they give it to Scott. And 8 on steals. So as a drone, Scott Skiles will be pesky, and you got to watch out for him. 1 on blocks is not going to be defending the rim, but that's what you got Weber for. Skiles, man, even though I think pass means nothing in this game, we just covered that, but he should be higher on pass, in my opinion. He has the record for assists in a game, I think. But maybe that happened after this game was released. So anyway, this team, the Bullets, they're really about Weber. I think he's repping his Golden State jersey. Now that I look at it, man, we got people from all over. So I would start with Weber Cheney, sub out Cheney in the second period, and then Cheney can be our guy in the third period. So I'm gonna lock in this game. We're gonna talk some defense, and for the first quarter, I wanna. Ooh, we're playing the Clippers, man. This is gonna be a blowout. I wanna tell you my main thing for playing defense is, other than have good shoves, is playing defense without as little turbo as you can. And because you always want, I'm just gonna throw up threes. This is about defense. You always want to have a full turbo in your bank to do whatever you need to do on defense. Whether it is whether it is shove the off-ball guy, shove the guy with the ball, or whatever. That's why that 8-speed 9 power is so important for Weber. So I'm not using turbo here, and then I just attack the guy with the ball. And then I attack the guy with the ball. And then I block Stanley Roberts. So I didn't quite get there. He got that on me, but I was able to cover quite a bit of ground without the turbo there. And you also, as you're conserving your turbo, you really want to keep the offense in front of you as much as you can. Once they get by you, then you're just playing catch up, and then it's really hard to play defense. So I don't recommend doing that too much, hitting the guy as they're going for the rebound. But I try it sometimes. Look at Pooh coming after me. So sometimes you can try to give an early shove like that, but then you go back to not using your turbo. You're just conserving that stuff. Ooh, throwing bows, Pooh Richardson, dunking on Cheney, and we'll get one more defensive. Nice shot, Chris. So we're going no turbo. Pooh fast enough to get by me. But what I was trying to do on that last play there is, the guy that broke away for the ball, push him over. You don't want to be pushing willy-nilly, but you do want to impede them from getting down the court quickly. Let's see if I can rip through some of these comments here. Matt saying, I love hang time. I could make that happen tonight. You should, Matt. Hang time that's some good stuff. It's not jam, but it's like, oh man, it's the spiritual successor of jam. It has so many of the good things, and it adds even more. Vance saying, Tecmo 101, with the Tecmo Bowl making it to Nintendo Switch Online and the NES Classic, I think it's important for the Tecmo Super Bowl community to spread the word about the superior sequel. Ooh, I see what you're saying, but I feel like the community does know about Tecmo Super Bowl. You can go to tecmobowl.org, and there are a lot of tournaments around the U.S. for Tecmo Super Bowl. You got, we're going to one in November, Tecmo Jam. Tecmo on one day, NBA Jam on another, and just about every month there is a big tournament. For original Tecmo, though, that's not the case. There's maybe one big one in Omaha every year, and that's a great tournament, but I'm just saying it doesn't draw the tournament demand as much as the sequel. So people know about the sequel. More PS2 on the Monday show. Honestly, I would love to do Dreamcast Hang Time again, but that was our best Monday tournament last year. Man, I would be all about that Dreamcast tourney. That got me with those Lakers, but I was trying hard with those Pacers, man. That was a very, very fun tournament. Vance saying online Tecmo Bowl using Nintendo Switch Online is super easy to set up. That's good, man. That's good. It's not a bad game. And I was just playing that with my friend when I was visiting Tennessee last Christmas, and he was getting into it. He doesn't play many of the old games. He's more like a Madden dude, but he was really enjoying the old Tecmo Bowl game. He loved the Niners, of course, even though they're not as dominant in Tecmo Bowl as they are Tecmo Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't know much about technology, says the guy streaming, Matt. But Matt, you remember when we were at Demon Tap, and I laid out all my gear, and I'm like, Matt, I don't know what to do, buddy. It's because I just didn't know. Like, I just had to follow ABC from what you guys told me. And most videos I have technology problems anyway. Like last video, a couple of the team breakdowns you couldn't hear because of audio issues. But I digress. Let's continue. Weber, the 2 injuries, not bad. He's still going to be fast and powerful. Cheney taking a break. Here comes Scotty with his Magic jersey like a boss. What do we got? So yeah, I actually am going to show how important off-ball shoves can be. So I don't rely on my drone for a whole lot in this game. As you can see, I'm saying don't pass and all that, but you can let them you can let them mark the guy. I kind of like let Skiles go up there, and I tried to mark my guy. I missed the shove, but oh man, Chris missing some of his pushes. Maybe those 2 injuries are more significant than I'm saying. So we're just gonna throw up a 3 there. So one of the nice things about, or the strategic, nice 3, Chris, of waiting for the other team to pass is you can attack the guy that they pass to. And sometimes you can, woo, Scotty! Sometimes you can, you want to kind of guard both guys, or keep them in mind. So after my guy, man, he's winning the shove battle. I'm not doing a good job of describing this. I thought Chris was just going to dominate. Good job, Scotty. You gave him a little push. So I'm just going to try to shove the guy off the ball, and woo, missing a lot of shoves here. And when they go up for the shot, you definitely do want to contest them like that. So you see me getting back. I let them bring it up to half court, but then I kind of start a half court press. Because if they pass it full court and I'm like all up in their business, then they just pass it right past me and they get the easy score. So I kind of do a half court trap, kind of more guarding the guy without the ball, but not letting the guy with the ball get an open shot type of thing. Let's see what else we got going on. We're saying been playing Tecmo online for years with Nestopia and Nesticle. That's right, those are two programs that you download, and what do you call those? Anyway, you download them and then you can play online. More correcting me, Eternal Champions is a fighting game, not boxing. My bad. Alright, Matt's saying he's going to be streaming around midnight Central Time. Looking forward to that. So, Jetta / Trident Larson Rax. I guess those are all playable characters in Eternal Champions, maybe. Matt asking, will a zero dunk make them only layup? Let's find out. It will make it much more likely that they'll layup versus dunk, but it's not an always thing. I don't really know what the formula is, but you know how even high dunkers, when they're contested, they'll go for a layup. With the zero dunkers or the low dunkers, it's almost always oh, there we go. Just like Kevin's saying, zero dunkers can do under the hoop jams. So there you go. Zero dunk, zero schmuck. So it is hard to play defense with the shorter guys. Like, they're faster, and that's cool. Boom! Power home. But the way you can still play D, you got to give them those good shoves. See there, I just straight up missed a shove because I was too short. It happens. The way I play D with a shorter guy is you want to hit him in the perimeter if you can. if that doesn't work, you want to hit them before they start a dunk, because let's face it, if like hit them before they start a dunk just like that. Let's face it, if they like if Shawn Kemp starts dunking Scott Skiles, it's just 2 points. You know, you don't even want to really contest it. So as much as you can with a shorter, fast player, you want to use that speed to your advantage. Scott Skiles dunking on fools. Granted, it's the Clippers, but still. There we go. I can dunk from the free throw line, sort of, the circle. Oh, Scotty Skiles, baby. So there you have it. Especially if you're on fire, you can dunk. But we're talking defense. Shorter players, even though they're faster, you don't want to get burned. And you want to either try to steal it when they pass like that, or you just want to avoid having them do an open shot. Excuse me. I'm getting some drone help. Sometimes you can try to push them while they're doing a dunk, but as you saw there, I wasn't able to. I'm just too short. Like literally their feet are above my shoulders. More think advanced for the sub. No. Where'd that go? Where'd it go? Vance is saying, Kevin, sounds like you know your stuff. Love following people who know their stuff. Yeah, Kevin is one of the OG elite jammers. He had one of the first records in NBA Jam with the team, playing with his buddy. And so he was able to figure out a lot about the game even before it was on some of our radars. So, Kev. Matt saying, hang time is better, showtime is the best. Fight me. I don't know, man. I say you do a 12 video series on hang time. No, actually, I'm going to do that. You do a 12 video series on showtime, and we'll see which game is better. Lou is saying, a birthday weekend for Tecmo, Cleveland, NBA Jam tourneys. That's right, man. Maybe this time you'll get the Tecmo crown for Cleveland. Last time he was runner-up, had a great run. Kevin knows his stuff. He can beat Mike Tyson blindfolded. The video game, that is. Haha. That's a real video, and it's incredible. You need to check that out if you haven't seen it. My most impressive, this is Vance, my most impressive feat is beating Turtles 2 for the NES with a Wrath without getting hit. Dang, that sounds incredible. One time I ranked my favorite 100 NES games because it's a great system. It's got a lot of good games. And Turtles 2 was number 7. It's and that's saying something. It's a great game. If you ever make a video of that, I'd love to watch it. That sounds awesome. Excuse me. Weber coming back in. He said, I was out for a quarter. That's bull. So Weber, I want to talk about defending the rim if I can. Instincts tell you that if you're a player like Weber, that you can block anyone, and that's kind of true. And he did there. Let's see how many blocks Weber gets. If we can give the Clippers the ball, they are the Clippers after all. Dang, just pulling up for shots. They're not going to comply with me. But what my strategy is, especially if you have a guy who's high on speed and power, you want to get them before they get to the rim. Blocking, trying to block a dunk for me is a last resort. As fun as it is, you want to hit them outside, you want to hit them inside. Man, they're just scoring at will on me. How about that? How you like that? So, you want to hit them out there if you can. And so what I did there is I wasn't able to hit them in the perimeter, and then when he drove the lane, I tried to hit him, and that didn't work. And that's when I went for the block. So, you know, you don't want to just sit under the rim. Weber getting open for the three. You don't want to just sit under the rim going for blocks. You want to try to get the ball other ways first. Especially, like I keep saying, if you got a guy with high power and speed like Weber. So you want to attack him there. Good team D. Basically, you want to have maximum opportunity to get him. So I'm like, it's patient defense, you know. And one, count it, Weber. Ooh, how's that for defending the rim? So that was a little all over the place that fourth quarter. But what I'm trying to say is, if you can, when you're playing defense, try to give them at least a shove on the perimeter. Like if they're going for a shot, or when they're receiving the ball on the perimeter, if they pass it, try to get there and hit them. If not, you can wait till they're driving the lane and they start a dunk animation or a shot, hit them. If they get by you somehow, you still got a chance to hit them when they're under the hoop going for a dunk. Try to hit them. And only then do I go up for a block. So, anyway, that's what I was trying to do with that fourth quarter. With Weber, he's got a high block rating. That's great. But it is really a kind of a last resort. So, that was the Bullets. Now I'm going to continue with the team breakdowns. But we're not going to talk strategy. We're just going to get down and dirty. Got my little list here somewhere of teams. So that completed Tier 2 with the Warriors and Bullets. Those are good teams that can hang with just about anyone. You know, I wouldn't want to be them against a Tier 1 team like the Spurs, Hornets, Rockets, Magic, or Hawks. But they can hang with any of the Tier 2 teams, and that's why they belong there. So we're going to move on to Tier 3. And I got the Kings at the top of Tier 3. Few comments. This stream sounds great, and you're doing a great job dishing out info, playing, and talking to the chat. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, dude. Multitasking is tough, but it's worth it. I know when I'm in the chat watching a video, it's always nice for people to, give a shout out. Lou remembers playing some 4-on-4 Ninja Mutant. Yeah, you must be talking about the arcade. Wait, 4-on-4. I'm not familiar with that. I know there is a 4-player cabinets around, both for older Ninja games and for newer ones. Yeah, Lou saying game at the arcade bar in Cleveland. My arm was so tired. That's right. Vance saying back in the day, it wasn't a big deal. Back then, I thought it wasn't a big deal because other Konami games got killed in one hit. So you practiced it until you got to that one point. Man, that sounds really impressive. That makes me want to play that game. So Kevin's saying, gotta spam that Turtles 2 AB jump slash for double damage. Interesting. But I thought in some versions of the game that actually took away damage from you. So I don't know how that works. Mord grew up with Turtles 3. He could beat it, but not without plenty of hurt. Yeah, Turtles 3 is also great. For some reason, Turtles 2, for some reason, I remember that one more fondly. But those are both really solid games. Turtles 1, not so much. I know some people love it, but it's just not as much a complete game, in my estimation. Vance saying Kevin, lots of foot soldiers die in one swipe. It's also the same reason I use Lisa in the Simpsons arcade for AV attack is the best in family. Good to know. I think they got a Simpsons arcade in headquarters in River North. It might also have one at Uptown Arcade, so I'll have to try that Lisa move out next time over there. Mort saying the jump kick 3 is a big weapon, makes it easy to hit without being hit. Matt saying 2 is harder, 3 is an easy kill. So I'm going to move on to these kings. Kings fall into tier 3 to me. They have Mitch Richmond, who has, as I've been playing this game recently a lot, he has risen in my esteem as a player because, like Mashburn, he's got a speed, power, and 3 rating. And like Derek Coleman. And if you guys like that really are tough to defend, they really are dominant. Real quick, Mashburn, 8 speed, 8 power, 8 3-pointers, really tough to stop. Coleman, 7 speed, 9 power, 7 threes, really tough to spot. And then we are reviewing the Kings. Mitch Richmond, 7 speed, 8 power, 9 threes. My estimation, that puts him at the top 5 player in the game. The Kings' other players, though, not incredible. Webb, I would put him like a tier 4 player. He's got that nice speed, but low power. And it's nice that he's got 8 dunks. But, you know, for he's a short player. For short, fast player, you really want them to at least have a 3-point ability. And that's just not the case with Webb. He's not even a great defender. 3 steal, 5 block. So that's cool that he can give you some dunks. But overall, I say tier 4. But then Simmons, I would put at a tier 3 player, probably. Maybe a low tier 3. And you know what? I realized I wrote something down wrong. Wow. Maybe his attributes might be different from the Super Nintendo to the Genesis, but I thought he was at 8 speed, 5 power, and I'm saying he's at 3 power, 5 speed. So, man, I messed up on that one. Simmons, a pretty poor player, honestly. He doesn't have much going for him. I would put him as a tier 5 player. I somehow wrote down maybe I looked at Game Facts and they had their, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that they had it wrong. How about that? I won't take responsibility for my faux pas. And honestly, knowing that Simmons is so bad in this version of the game, I say that actually slides the Kings down. I wouldn't say that they're the top team in tier 3 anymore, honestly. All right, Kevin, thank you. Simmons is 8 speed, 5 power in Genesis, so I must have just assumed that it was the same attributes. Because that makes him a good player. 8 speed, 5 power is solid. You know, it's no Mitch Richmond, but he's a good contributor. Him being 5 speed, 3 power in this version, man, that really blows. 1 on 3, 5 on dunks. Man, he's tier 5 for sure. But anyway, enough about tiers. It really comes down to Richmond and what you can do with him. I think in the third quarter, I'll go with Webb. So we're going to start some Richmond Webb. How about that? Showtime! So the Kings, however you would rank them, would be really however good you can do with Richmond. I'm going to try to beat me up some Horace Grant. He is the only player on the Magic who has, like, nice pass, bud, who has high power. And there we go, Richmond already getting that, woo, but Penny getting the block. Horace the only player with some power. So definitely want to give him some shoves. Want to put him on the pine for the second period. and then really make some hay in the second period with him on the bench. Man, Majik doing some work.
Wild shot. Yeah.
Richmond using, swinging a whip. Richmond using that three-point ability, just hucking and chucking.
2 points.
I really do like that spot on the arc there.
Wild shot. Heating up.
Richmond with that 9 3-point ability.
He's on fire.
Or was it 8? He's going to give you some threes. I don't do that with most players.
Wild shot.
You know, just kind of throw it up. But if you got that high rating, you really want to make the most of it. Woo! Slipping it over me. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Majik saying, we're tier 1. What's up? Oh, Hardaway with a hard move inside. That's that 9 speed. So even though Hardaway doesn't have, he's low power, but he's got speed. It can make him really slippery.
Wild shot. Heating up.
Richmond missing the 3, but he's still able to get the rebound. Oh. And the 3s can be overdone.
Ugly shot.
You know, if you miss some, you're going to give up some points, like I did on that last possession there. Lou saying, yeah, this is what I suck at in Jam, blocking shots under the rim. Man, it's just not consistent, especially in the Genesis version. Really hard to get blocks. It's really all about shove. Super Nintendo version, you can get some blocks, but I still try to find other ways to defend, and then just kind of, you know, if you're a Mourning or a Robinson, one of these big powerful dudes, you know, you will get some blocks, but or Forrest Grant even. 9 power, 9 block, he's gonna get some blocks, but he won't every time, and that's the thing. I want to stop him every time. Not possible, but that's what I go for. Vance saying that's taking advantage of the goaltending trick at the end of the quarter, which you talked about in the previous video. That's true, man. I try to point out all those little things, because to me they're second nature, but not everyone knows about them. And what Vance is saying is that at the end of the quarter, about the time that the horn goes off, you can goaltend freely, and usually that affects if they got a last second chuck. Like if I score with a couple seconds left, they'll inbound it and they'll chuck it full court. They will make a lot of those. The computer will. So I just run back in a goaltend, and they allow it. So what's up? Vance giving more knowledge on Turtles 3 and asking Vance where he's from. Oh, almost got him there. That's the drop push I try to pull off sometimes.
From the outside. Elbow.
Richmond, you can't stop him. He's S tier. Ooh, Grant, get the rebound. Oh. Nick Anderson.
From the outside.
Trying to get some space for that 3. Boxing out.
Terrible shot.
Oh. Mitch, I was just saying you're S tier and you can't even get a dunk. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Alright, it's time to get on fire, y'all.
Elbow. For 2. Terrible shot.
Oh, Simmons trying to get involved. Wow, Simmons getting a block. That was surprising.
Heating up.
Majik playing some tough D, as they've been known to do. They are in Tier 1. 4th best overall team, in my opinion.
He's on fire.
Richmond getting on fire like a boss.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and give me that ball, please. Thank you. Sneaky Anderson. You know, if they run right at me, I'm just gonna get the ball back and rail a three. You know what I'm saying? Woo.
Heating up.
Oh, ho, ho. So what you have there is obviously I missed the three. We went for the rebound. I got the rebound, but I went for the putback, which I don't always go for if there's a defender in my face, but I felt like doing it anyway. Went for the putback, and that's when the ball exchanged hands to Grant. So you are able to get your own rebounds sometimes, but sometimes you just want to come to the ground, maybe use some elbows instead of going for the putback. Kevin saying, I like Stacey Augman on the Hawks. It's wildly different compared to the arcade game. That's interesting. Augman, a great player on console. For whatever reason, they must have really juiced his stats. I mean, he was an all-star at one point, so but maybe during the arcade game, they just didn't think he was that great. Vance saying Simmons forgot to eat his Wheaties. I guess so, or he ate them for Genesis, but not for Super Nintendo. Mort saying in three the jump, he's talking more turtles because he relies on that jump kick. More turtles talk. Man, I gotta play these turtles. That sounds really fun. Ooh. No more copy of the Manhattan Project. You gotta get your hands on that, man. We gotta play that Demon Tap, dude. We gotta practice up, dude. We've been playing too much sports. There's a lot of great NES titles out there. All right, I think it's time to give Richmond a rest. We're going web skis and Simmons the punching bag. How about that? Against Hardaway and Anderson, I'm really gonna have to cover some ground here. Anderson and there's that off-screen shove. What's up? Anderson and Hardaway, the toughest three-point duo in the game. You've got Chaney and Skiles, but Skiles not a great defender. On the Suns, you got Marley and you got Manning. So it's a rare treat when you got two guys that are fast and can hit the threes. So, woo, Spud, man, 9 on dunks. Why are you bricking him? Oh, Spud was gonna go for a long layup, but he got rocked. Let's try to get some pretty dunks with Spud here.
Heating up.
Man, sometimes speed is your best offense. Penny just blowing by me. Whew. Tough to play D with those short guys, that's for sure. Whoa! The reverse. Man, I play tough D, but sometimes they score on you anyway, you know what I'm saying? Dude, Spud, you're 9 on dunks, my guy. There we go, there we go. Woo! At least it's 720. Someone call Tony Hawk. Alright, let's see if I can goaltend with the short guy. Here we go. What's up? Oh, missed it. But they didn't score, so that's cool. Kevin saying Nick Anderson is S tier because there's no free throws in Jam. Dang. Dude, I'll tell you what. I love me some Magic and Jam, but they also make me pretty sad. The franchise, not the franchise, the dynasty that could have been, you know? Like, I was watching something on, the Bulls playing the Magic a couple years back to back. 94, 95, Jordan coming out of retirement. Magic knock him out in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then get swept by the Rockets. Next year, the Bulls sweep the Magic, and Shaq left the next year. So, man, they really could have been something special, but that's how it goes sometimes. Kevin pointing out that Augment is a 2-dunk, 1 power, 2 block compared to 7.77. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Especially with the arcade, it's kind of like, where are you getting these attributes from? You know what I'm saying? Also, Anderson in some versions, he's got like his attributes switch up a little bit. It's kind of like, where's the mistake? You know what I'm saying? And what's up, Troy? Saying, everyone check out Online Tecmo on this channel at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. So we're gonna have to wrap this up in the next couple hours so that we can get to some Tecmo. There's George Mikan in this game. The GOAT, George Mikan. I don't know who that is. Or Michael Jordan, is that who are you talking about? Michael Jordan isn't in this game because he was retired. Sometimes I misspeak and I say he wasn't in this game because of licensing, but this was based on rosters that Jordan wasn't on the team for. So Ron Harper could be in this game for the Bulls, but you only get one. What's it called? With the expanded rosters, the Bulls only get Luke Longley, and that's actually a pretty good addition for them, especially because they have no power in their original roster in this game. So they really could use some Longley instead of like a Tony Kukoc, God bless him. They would definitely rise in the ranks. But, Ron Harper was a great player, but he actually... I looked at, he's in the Sega Saturn version, I think it's Sega Saturn version of NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and he only has like a 1 on power, so that's like not a whole lot of help, you know what I'm saying? So these Bulls are missing some Ron Harper, but he might not have actually helped the team all that much. All right, let's get some threes, Mitch. I'm saying S tier. Let's go.
He's on fire. He's on fire. At the buzzer.
Nice power layup, Mitch.
Kings win the game.
Kevin saying Jam, Tecmo, and LJC in one night. Beautiful. That's right. That's what we do at the Retro Sports Gamer channel. We just give you all the good things and hope that you're able to handle it. Mort saying, I was so surprised to see his statue in the middle of nowhere in Joliet. Van saying, George Mikan is a tall player who was so dominant the NBA added the goaltending rule. Oh, goaltending rule didn't exist because of Majik. You know, he kind of sounded familiar, but I don't know my basketball history, man. Um, more than saying, at least Warren Spahns is at the prominent spot of that big spark in South Buffalo. We're talking statues, man. Statues can make or break a park, for sure. But we're on to Detroit. Let's see who we got next. Kings not at the top of Tier 3. I'm going to have to readjust that. Next, we got a controversial team. The Utah Jazz. Now, if you look at things online about best duos in NBA Jam, for the most part, they're talking about the original arcade. But you're going to get a lot of Stockton and Malone talk. Because in real life, they were great. I think both Hall of Famers. Maybe Stockton isn't. Nope, both Hall of Famers. Get this. Malone. I wanted to see, of all the players in this game, who had the most All-Star appearances. So I wrote those all down. And the winner, it's Karl Malone with 14. Can you believe that? 14 All-Star appearances. That's ridiculous. John Stockton, 10 All-Star appearances. To put into context, I'm going to see who got second place. Olajuwon had 12. Ewing had 11. Jason Kidd had 10. He's a rookie in this game. And stuff like that. So, the Jazz, and even Hornacek had one All-Star year. So, anyway, Malone, a great player. I'd rank him at least at the worst 10 overall. Really great with his 7 speed, 9 power, 9 dunk, 8 block. That's all great stuff. Not great on threes, but 4 isn't bad for a big guy. Only 3 on steal. Malone's got everything you want. Stockton, he's got the bipolar green and red attributes, which I think is hilarious. He's the only player in the game who is feast or famine. I want to say even like Mark Price. Yeah, at least he's only a 7 on pass. But Stockton, they give him lots of elite rankings and then 3 zeros. More zeros than anybody else. That's hilarious. But he's still a high Tier 3 player, maybe Tier 2, because he's got that speed in threes. He's going to get open for threes, and that's really key. So Malone got your power. Stockton got your speed in threes. And Hornacek, repping the 76ers jersey, is pretty much trash. That 8 threes looks nice, and actually 6 speed isn't bad. And I'm finding something else out. I have written down that Hornacek is a 4 on speed, but he's a 6. So that he actually climbs in my estimation. Maybe I wouldn't put him in Tier 5. Because 6 speed, 8 threes, you can do something with that. 0 dunk, as we showed before, you can still do some dunks. Not great on speed, and that 3 power hurts him. But as long as you don't rely on him too much, he's not a complete waste of space. So anyway, we're going to go Malone Stockton. Classic duo in all versions of original NBA Jam. I'm talking console and arcade. Malone and Stockton represent the Jazz in every single one, and the only other duo that's like that is the Cavs have Price and Daugherty, I think it is. But everyone else, they don't have 2 players that are in every single version. So anyway, we lock in Utah. Really going to try to get some stuff done with Malone here.
Jazz versus Pistons. Count it. Heating up. He's on fire. Count it. He's on fire. Yeah. Razzle dazzle. Heating up. Yeah. Heating up. He's on fire. Yeah. Two points.
Swinging a biff. Come on, Malone.
Razzle dazzle. Heating up. He's on fire. Count it. At the buzzer.
Get that out of Karl Malone's house. Detroit basketball. I'm really taking it to these Pistons because I'm Karl Malone, and what's up? More saying I posted the pics of my Twitter in case you don't have me on Facebook. Cool, man. Cool. What's up, Mega Dan 29? We're playing some NBA Germ. Stockton Malone doesn't get better than that. Detroit basketball. We got Mills and Miller. Identical statistics. What's up with that, Mark Trammell? I'm confused. So yeah, man. Let's continue. Malone, 0 injuries. Let's keep him going. Here comes Hornacek from the 76ers. Let's see if we can get this ball rolling still.
Stolen. He's on fire. Stolen.
Hornacek with the steal.
Heating up.
That's right, Hornacek chipping in on D, chipping in.
2 points.
Oh man.
Kaboom.
Mills at home, baby. Woo! Blocked by Miller Mills. Come on, Malone. Come on, Hornacek.
Yeah. Heating up.
purposeful goaltend. You can, as I said in the last video, when you goaltend, you can continue your chain of 3 shots to get on fire. So, especially if you're heating up, you really want to goaltend and get that fire.
Stolen.
Woo, they played hard.
No good. Kaboom. At the buzzer. No good.
Got greedy and went for that push. I'm tempted to keep in Malone, but I think it's nappy time for Malone. Let's go Stockton. Let's see how many threes this guy can get. I want at least 5.
From the outside. Heating up.
There's one. Step back 3. Fire 3s don't count. I mean, really?
From the outside. Hello. He's on fire.
Ooh, slipped it in there.
Terrible shot for 2. Hello.
Stockton can get rebounds too. 4 in a sec.
From the outside. Heating up.
That's 3 threes for Stockton.
He's on fire.
It's 4 threes for Stockton.
For 2.
It is really hard to defend that rim with a short player, but it can be done with some patience, some luck. Slams it down. They'll tell you online that Stockton can't dunk. That's not true. Try to get that 5th 3, Stockton. Let's go, baby.
From the outside. Hello.
Stop.
For 2. Yeah.
Tried to goaltend that, but I was too short.
From the outside. Hello. At the buzzer.
Ah, too short. Couldn't do it. I was too short. Man saying, Mega Dan, we were just talking about Mega Man 5 before you got here. Where do you think? Where do you think it ranks in the 11 classic Mega Man games? Kevin saying 5th, maybe. Yeah, I definitely think 2 and 3 are 1 and 2 for me. I actually haven't even played all the Mega Man classic games. Retro Sports Gamer saying NBA Jam computer beatdowns with Green Magic. You got that right, man. I just sit at home and beat down the computer. That's what I do. Whoa, Kevin with a full ranking. He's saying 2, 3, 9, 1, 5, 10, 4, 6, 11, 7, 8, maybe. All right, all right. Stockton wanted the 3, but I needed the dunk with Malone. Oh, good D by Detroit Basketball.
Monster Jam. Heating up.
Right, off-screen pushes. What's up?
He's on fire. From downtown. Yeah. He's on fire.
Ooh, tricky play by the Pistons.
From downtown.
Not goaltending. Ah! So I actually tried to
Win the game.
fake shoot it with Stockton and then pass it, but they don't let you do that in the closing seconds. They just made him shoot it. Vance saying around 5th or 6th place for Mega Man 11 feels about right. Or Mega Man 5, I'm sorry. But he doesn't like 11 right now. He deleted off the Switch. Mega Man 2 for Tom. What's your world record in this game currently? Currently, the other day I got I posted it on Super More Bros. It was 130 something. World record is 125. So I gotta record one of these. Yeah, I got 135 against the Jazz actually. With Mashburn, man. Mashburn's just a friggin' freak in this game. Probably the second or third best overall player in this game. I've since been playing with doing these streams and been doing a playthrough with the Mavs just for funsies, and Mashburn has been making me rethink some things. How important that power, speed, and 3 balls can be. So he's definitely up there.
Welcome to.
I love me some Olajuwon and Rodman, but especially because Rodman can't hit threes with anything, he's kind of sunk in my estimation. And Olajuwon's still a beast, but again, not as good on offense. Got a few more teams to go through today. I'm gonna pull up my screen of stats. So Kings, I said, were top of tier 3. I don't know about that. I had Simmons ranked too highly in his attributes. Jazz, I said, was next, and actually I had Hornacek ranked too low. So Tom, when I was talking trash about Hornacek, I was actually looking at the Genesis ratings of him. So he is a little bit better in the Super Nintendo version. Next we go to a fun team, the Suns. And they're fun because they're really pretty bad in the Genesis version of NBA Jam TE. Because that game really is about power and speed and shoving, and the Suns just aren't great at shoving. They're more of a finesse team in the console version. We start with Danny Manning, solid 7 speed, 6 power, great at offense, very good, three dunks, threes. I mean, 7 dunks and 7 on threes. So very, very good on offense. Steals, about average on defense, steals and blocks, but he's still got decent speed and power, so that's what you rely on. Let's go over to Marley. So Manning, I would say, is a tier 2 player. Marley, also a tier 2. He's got the... man, I have him No, we good. We good. He is a 5 speed, 5 power, so that's like not impressive. But you put that with the 8 threes, and it's like we got a guy that's not going to get shoved off the ball all the time. He's going to be able to get open and do all the things. 4 on dunk, so he can throw it inside sometimes. Not a great defender, but he still can get some shoves off with that 8 speed or that 5 speed, 5 power. So this is a solid duo, Manning and Marley, both tier 2 players in my opinion. Johnson, not so much. Kevin Johnson was a great player. I have written down he went to 3 All-Stars. You know, this is the Barkley years right here, where the Suns were just like one of the best teams. You know, perennial contenders. And Kevin Johnson was a great point guard. They just don't give him the stats in this game. 1 power, 8 speed. And he does have a 7 3-pointer. That's great, but no inside game with the dunks. 0 block, 7 steal. So 7 steal is nice, but with only the 1 power, just not all that effective. Kevin Johnson, a tier 4 player in my team. Really, all he's got is that speed and 3-point ability. And the thing is, that 3-pointer ability isn't all that useful for the Suns because they already have Marley and Manning. I was taking a look at what when you unlock rosters, you beat the teams to play through. The Suns get Wayman Tisdale and AC Green, and Tisdale is a good player. Only 3 speed, but 9 power, and he's got some 8 dunks. So it's like that's the kind of player that they could have used in the original roster to balance them out. Then they also got AC Green, 7 speed, 6 power, 8 dunk, 5 threes. So 2 good players they get to unlock. Suns pretty fierce with the unlockables. And just a funny thing I'll mention, you know how you have the rookies team, right? There's like 10, 15 players on the rookies team, and most of them go to their home team after you beat the game. You know, you unlock the All-Stars, and the rookies kind of disperse to their own teams. But Wesley Person is on the rookies team, but he doesn't make it to the Suns roster, and I just think that's kind of silly. Him and Brooks Thompson and Monty Williams are all players on the rookies team that just disappear after you unlock the All-Stars. So that's kind of silly. But anyway, let's go into this playthrough here. I love me some Marley, so we're gonna go Marley Manning, and let's see if I can beast it with some threes. Let's see if I can just beat down on that computer.
Tonight's matchup, Suns versus Warriors.
Playing those Warriors, man. Tom Gugliotta, he's no fool.
Stolen.
Tom defending the hoop. Sprewell defending the hoop. Man, they're going to make me earn it. These Warriors are for real.
Heating up.
Woo, that's some tough D right there. I gave him the 2, but now I'm going to get on fire, so what's up? No, I'm not. I'm going to break my layup.
He's on fire.
Give me that ball, man.
2 points.
We got a dousing the fire.
Boom.
Pushing everybody over. Everybody. So Phil is a Mega Man 2 runner. That's some good stuff. That was fun. In Green Bay at Tundra Bowl, Kevin was showing me some tricks on Mega Man 2. Get what you call those, but they, you get stuck in the background and it like skips you to the next frame, and you gotta complete those to a T to do those quick runs. So the Zips, thanks, man. The Zips. Mort's saying he feels Jazz are tier 2, very similar to Washington. I feel you. I rank the Jazz just a couple teams below Washington, so I wouldn't say that's a huge mismatch. The thing is, yeah, they are similar now that you think about it. But their second best player is short, whereas on Washington, their second best player, Cheney, is tall, and that is pretty significant. Cheney's got that 2 power, Stockton's got 0, and so that just limits your options. It really does all come down to Malone, with Stockton contributing, and the bullets. And let's talk about Scotty Skiles. He's not easy to use, but as a drone, he's a lot more effective than Hornacek. Lou saying his favorite team, Homer. I wasn't gonna say it. All right, Kevin. Thanks for chipping in. Thanks for watching. Gonna keep on stomping the computer. That's what I do. And let's go. Marley having some success. That was a hard-fought quarter. I don't know if it looked like that, but Warriors are a real team, man, and they made everything I did difficult. That's why the Warriors. I don't know. I just freaking love them, and I like me some Suns. They just don't have that power that teams like the Warriors have.
Stolen. Heating up. Slammed it. Heating up. Yeah. Heating up. He's on fire. It's good. He's on fire. Yeah. It's good. Stolen. Slammed it. Yeah. Heating up. At the buzzer. It's good.
Nice shot. Bye. Tom Bugliano. All right, Vance is out too. Peace out. Thanks for watching, man. Yeah, man, we're all about giving you the fun videos to watch, a little bit of casual gaming, a little bit of knowledge, and a whole lot of fun banter, man. I was a little quiet on that last quarter. I was the Warriors were playing me hard, man. I love me some Marley, but he's just not quite fast enough or powerful to really just kind of take the game over when you're playing a Spreewell or a Gugliotta. Let's go to we're gonna go to Manning here, and we're gonna take out Marley, save him for the fourth period there. Been breaking a lot of threes with the Sun. You know, Suns really are a team that rely on the three ball, or not rely, but that's their strength. But it really can bite you if they start missing it. And you know, that's why, like, even with the team that's their strength, if I was playing a human opponent, I wouldn't be tossing up quite so many threes. I would really be trying to make the inside game happen. You want to make the inside game happen so that to free up the three ball. I guess it's like in football where you run to set up the pass or whatever. You know, you get those hard inside points, and then you just can light them up in the air. But with the Suns, man, it's just so fun to just toss it up. Danny Manning, what's up? Suns obviously missing Charles Barkley, the Hall of Famer. He's in some versions of original NBA Jam console, and he's not in others. Like they had to pull his likeness partway through the the distribution or whatever. So you know, this Suns team obviously would be even more vicious with Barkley, but you know, just like the Majik and Shaq, it's like, you know, missing that key player. Now that Gugliotta is not on the court, I'm having a lot easier time kind of getting things done. Manning just slipping it in there. Also, Manning is a bit of a better player than Marley. Like I was saying, he's 5 speed, 5 power, which is still decent with the 8 threes, but you know, Manning is 7 speed, 6 power, and that's significant. Now we're gonna put them both in. We got Gugliotta Spreewell on the other side. Very tough duo, but Spreewell should be slow and just easy to pummel.
From the outside, elbow.
Sometimes the higher power players like Gugliotta, you just gotta hit him a million times. Woo! All right. I don't always go for those blocks like that, but when they go for those high dunks, where they just go up forever and drop, that really is your only option to defend. And Manning getting some good, what's it called? Some good stuff. Some good defense of the rim.
From the outside.
Woo! Barely got in there. So this is a fun matchup. You got there are two players in NBA Jam, the NBA Jam series, who were on three different teams due to trades and so forth. So in some, so Danny Manning in some versions of NBA Jam Original, he's on the Hawks. I think it's like the arcade version. And then during during the '94 season, '93-'94 season, he was traded to the Clippers for Dominique Wilkins and maybe some other things. So those guys reversed teams. So that meant that in some versions of the game, Manning's on the Clippers.
From the outside, terrible shot. At the buzzer.
Got to make sure I get that right.
Win the game.
Manning was on the Clippers, gets traded to the Hawks for Dominique and some things. And then in TE, he's obviously on the Suns, so that's three teams. 105, not bad. That's what we call a real beatdown. And then Tom Gugliotta, he's on the Warriors, obviously, but in NBA Jam Original, he's on the Bullets and gets traded for Weber and so forth. And then in some versions of TE, I think it's Sega Saturn, he's on the Timberwolves. He's traded for Donyell Marshall and some things. So, we got two players there that are on three different teams. So I think that's kind of fun. I don't know. All right, who do we got next? Suns a great three-point team. Got to put them behind. Now it's down to the Heat. Heat, I rank them about 15. So we're getting to the average teams, the slightly below average teams. The Heat, they got a lot of great attributes, a lot of high, especially offense and speed. But they don't got power, man, and that really gives them a hit. I think there was a companion booklet that came out around the time of this game, and it ranked the Heat really high, maybe even a top 5 team. And they did that based on how many attributes they got. So Rice, Minor, and Smith, they all got a lot of attributes, but they're all really low on power. So Rice has the most with 3. Rice, I still rank pretty high as a tier 2 player. He's got that 7 speed, 3 power, but with the 9 threes, that's really good. 7 speed, 9 threes. That's a deadly combo. 6 dunks, so he can go inside sometimes. Defense, about average with the 4s on steal and block. Then we got Minor, really fast, low power. Okay at 3s, but 9 on dunks, so he's really quick and get to the hoop, and he's a good defender. 7 steal, 6 blocks. So we got some decent player. Minor, I put him at a tier 3. Smith, I also put him at a tier 3. 7 speed, only 2 power, really hurts him. But a really good offensive player. He can throw it up sometimes from downtown with a 6. Dunks, he's got that 8 rating. That's nice. And then a good defender too. 7 steal, 6 blocks. So Smith, he's really got everything you want. He just doesn't have the power. So I'm going to see what I can do with Rice in the first period. I'm going to go Minor as Madrone, and put in Minor as my guy in the third period. We'll see how that goes. So I feel like I can beat up on the Celtics pretty good. Raja's coming in the second period, and Raja is a good player. He's got some power. Not a lot of power, but he's got more power than Wilkins and Brown.
Heating up.
Tried to goaltend, didn't give it to me. It's all good. And that's what I call the drop push. I do that sometimes if I don't feel confident about getting a block. Dominique, he's got a high dunk rating, and so he's going to land a lot of dunks, and Rice doesn't have a high block rating. So I figured I'd go for the push, the drop push, instead of the block, and I was able to get it. Rice showing that high three-point ability.
The rebound.
Still able to miss though, even though he's on fire with the 9 rating. Woo! And Wilkins, even with a 9 dunk rating, can brick a dunk. So, you know, ratings definitely mean something. But oh, nice drone D by Harold Miner. He really saved my booty on that one. D Brown dunking it over both of us, and that can happen. Brown, he's a short guy, but he's got that dunk ability, and Heat just don't got that power or block rating to stop it. Yeah, at least one more 3 before the end of the quarter. Getting that free goaltend. What's up, LJ Brooks? Good to see you in the chat. You haven't played this in a year. Well, man, it's a good game. You should check it out. You gotta download that emulator, and you gotta play some NBA Jam. I'm actually playing on console. I'm not playing on emulator, but it's obviously not everyone has these consoles lying around. LJ Brooks says you should do NBA Hang Time and NBA Showtime too. I haven't done NBA Hang Time yet, but on this channel there are some Hang Time and Showtime videos. Though those are some great arcade games. I love me some Hang Time. And Showtime I didn't know about until recently. But Hang Time, I definitely want to do a series eventually on Hang Time. I think it's worth breaking down and doing playthroughs. I like the Super Nintendo version. I bet the Genesis version is good, and I know the 64 version is incredible. So I'd love to do a series of all those games. Showtime, I want to play me some more of that. It's a really good game. We did a tournament of that game on this channel. I think it was last fall, and it was really fun. It surprised a lot of my friends and me who weren't familiar with the game at just how fun it was to pick up and play, but there seemed to be a lot of depth as well. And then you forgot about the NFL Blitz series. I really want to do a Blitz series as well. It would probably be Blitz 64. Wait, there's NFL Blitz. I'm trying to think if there are more games on the 64. Is Blitz 99 on the 64? I'm not sure. But you got those, and then you got all the ones on PS2 and PlayStation 1 and so forth. And so I definitely want to do a series of that, as many as I could fit into a video series. You do have NBA Jam TE for Super Nintendo and Genesis, but really hard to play on Android phone. Yeah, I bet they are, man. I mean, they're meant to be played, with a two-handed controller for sure. Yeah, and even emulators to me don't give the quite the complete experience. I mean, I'll play it for Tecmo for sure, but I don't know, something about having the real colors and so forth. The perfect sound, and really the controls being just slightly different. I don't know. I love it live when possible. So what I'm doing here is the series Jam Rules with Green Majik, playing through some of the classic NBA Jam games. I already did NBA Jam Original on Super Nintendo and Genesis, and now I'm about halfway through doing NBA Jam Tournament Edition on Super Nintendo. I'm doing it because it's a fun game, but also to talk strategy, to help people out who might want to get competitive at the game. There is a tournament in Toronto this September that I'm going to along with some of my friends. And, you know, we're just trying to study up and learn the game inside out and practice against each other and, you know, hopefully place well in the tournament. The emus. Oh, was that a code you could unlock? I don't know if I ever saw that. Oh, emulators. Maybe that's what you're talking about. NFL Blitz is on N64 and PS1. Or I mean, is on N64. PS1 is 99 and 2000. Special Edition and 2001, 2, 3. And Pro is on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. Awesome. I'm trying to remember. Maybe I am thinking of Special Edition. It was the one that was only a Blockbuster release, and that one's kind of fun because you can put it on hyper mode, I think, and then it's just everything's so fast, and it's already a really fast game. But to make it even faster, it's just kind of crazy and fun. So if I did a series, I would. Man, I don't have a PlayStation, but I might have to get one. Maybe the PlayStation games and the N64 games. That would be an awesome series to do. So I'm crushing the Celtics pretty good here. Glenn Rice getting some threes. Now it's time for Minor and Smith. Heat, a fun team, but they're challenging because of the power aspect. They just get shoved over like Wilkins right there. You know, just getting that ball, easy peasy. You played Blitz the League a little bit years ago, but it never got far. I remember my brother played that a little bit. It looked pretty intense, like especially you getting hurt and injecting your like drugs into yourself. That was some intense stuff. But you know, I personally didn't need all that. I just enjoyed the gameplay so much, you know. And I really enjoyed on the arcade. Just about any version, whether it's original or 2000 or the gold edition or whatever, it's like those are all super fun to me. And I feel like especially 2v2, it would be really fun to see a tournament, like a pro level tournament of that, because I bet there's so much strategy. You know, there's a lot of strategy just playing the computer, even more if you're playing a human opponent. But you know, man, if you could do 2v2, that would be cool, man. Like you'd basically have someone blitzing you every play. You'd have a user blitzing you every play. That would be insane. Minor not having success with the 3-ball, but neither is that really his calling. His calling is the dunk. Double dunk that ball, dude. Man, I don't know how to do that. Mort, aka Tecmo 101, saying, "I wish there was hyper mode in all games with adjustable speed settings. Would be awesome for training." Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think they have some Tecmo mods where they do that. They just make it hella fast, and it's awesome. I guess double dunk you can do on hang time. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Yeah, the double dunks in hang times, those are super fun. Really tough to defend. against the computer because it was always like, you know, the millisecond you went for the block, they would just kick it up to the other guy and he would dunk on you. So that was a pretty ingenious addition. Love me some Jam and Jam TE, but with Hang Time, they really like bumped it up a notch. They really made smart additions to while keeping the same basic gameplay. Another thing I like about Hang Time is the attribute factor. There isn't stat tracking, but I enjoy seeing like my shot percentage. You know, like it's awesome to make 23s, but like, you know, what was my percentage? So not everyone cares about that, but I enjoyed always scoring a lot of points, but then also like, you know, being efficient about it too. Glenn Rice getting some momentum here.
Stolen.
He's made a lot, but he's missed a lot too, which you wouldn't expect for a guy on fire with a 9-on-3 rating, but it's definitely can happen.
No good.
And that right there, woo! Twice off the backboard for Glenn Rice, 9-on 3-point rating. You saw me get that rebound against Dominique. Basically, I like to box out, or what I call a box out, and that is just, you know, instead of just grabbing the ball, I'll push the guy and then just scoop up the ball from the ground because it is easy to miss the ball. Mort knows this. It's easy to, when the ball is on the ground, like a 50-50 ball, to not get it. You run right by it and you don't pick it up. So you play the man, not the ball. You push him over, and you scoop that sucker up. So that was the Heat. I was able to have some success because I played another team with low power, the Celtics. Dominique repping that Hawks jacket right there. Did some good things with Rice. We got a couple more teams to go, I think. And then we got to pass on the torch to Troy GB Land for some Tecmo. Let's see, we did Warriors. We did Warriors, Bullets, Kings, Jazz, Suns, Heat. And I don't even know who's next. Yeah, I do. Just to double check, I'm gonna pull up my sheet here. Try not to do this too much because I think it messes up the frame rate and so forth. All right, so I skipped a team. No, I didn't. We're going to do two more teams. We're going to break them down, and then we're going to wrap it up and hand it off to Troy GB Land. Going to do some Tecmo Super Bowl playoffs. So we're going to round out Tier 3 here. Next, we're going for the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets, sneaky good team. We got some
Welcome to NBA Jam.
Right. Going to Denver. Mutombo, 5 speed, 8 power. That's nice. He's not elite though because he doesn't have that 7, 8, or 9 speed. But 5, 8, 5 speed, 8 power is nice. Only 1 on 3. You don't want him to be chucking it up. And if he does get on fire, he's not going to be as automatic as you'd like. Done, so he's got nice inside. But he doesn't need that inside game. That's what you got Mutombo and Ellis for. Then on defense, 6 steal and 3 block. So not the best defender, but he really is an offensive threat. We go into LaFonso Ellis.
Showtime! Tonight's matchup, Nuggets versus Hornets. Yes! Monster Jam! Heating up! He's on fire! Scores! From downtown! He's on fire! Scores! Yes! Heating up! He's on fire! From downtown! Yes! Yes! The rebound. Heating up. He's on fire. Yeah. He's on fire. The turnover. Hello. The rebound. Heating up. He's on fire. Hello. He's on fire. Yeah. At the buzzer. No good. Heating up. He's on fire. He's on fire. Yeah. Yeah. Heating up. He's on fire. 2 points. Yeah. Heating up. No good. Stolen. Yeah. At the buzzer. No good.
Or I would send you a message.
Heating up. The turnover. He's on fire. Yeah. The rebound. The turnover. He's on fire. Yeah. Elbow. The rebound. Heating up. Yeah. 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 Nuggets win the game. Welcome to NBA Jam. showtime! Tonight's matchup, Celtics versus Lakers. Hello. Heating up. He's on fire. The turnover. Hello. He's on fire. Yeah. Yeah. Heating up. He's on fire. The rebound. Yeah. The turnover. The rebound. Yeah. Yeah. At the buzzer. Heating up. He's on fire. Stolen. Yeah. He's on fire. Yeah. Yeah. Heating up. He's on fire. Yeah. He's on fire. The turnover. Heating up. The rebound. He's on fire. Yes. Hello. Heating up. The rebound. Yeah. Hello.
But you know, sometimes the computer, I'm locked. That was locked in elbows right there.
Yeah.
Sometimes the computer just doesn't want you to do it. So here comes Roger, though. Gonna save us. Gonna rail hella threes.
From downtown. Score. Heating up. From downtown. He's on fire. Yeah. From downtown. He's on fire. Scores.
It's working again, Matt. Nice. That's good. That's good.
From downtown. Heating
His
up.
dribbling. His dribbling. That's all I was saying while the mic was out.
He's on fire.
No, I didn't even, because the mic was out, I didn't even
Downtown.
break down the Celtics. I'll leave some comments in the video,
Intercepted.
just giving some quick points about what I think about that team
He's on fire.
and why I rank them where I do. But this is going to be the last game of the playthrough. Concludes Tier 3, and also Troy's going to get going in just 15 short minutes here.
Heating up.
So I got to get my butt off the air, but not before I beat the Lakers by a hundo.
He's on fire.
Ooh.
Scores. From downtown. He's on fire.
That's right. That's what we do.
Scores.
Man, Raja has a lot of threes, man,
At the buzzer.
but not that one.
Celtics win the game.
Celtics winning a nail biter. It was close, but we fought hard. That was a fun that's a fun what do you call it? Rivalry. You know, Celtics and Lakers. That was the '80s, right? That was the only teams that were like, or maybe it was the '70s, '80s, I think. Bird and Majik. Yeah. Celtics got the best of this one. Raja 32 threes. That's really good. 96 points scored off three-pointers. It's like the Warriors there. Lottie looking beat up. So this concludes today's video. Thanks for watching, everybody. A lot of great comments in the chat going on. It's always fun to engage with people and hear about what other games they like and all that sort of stuff. So this has been Jam Rules with Green Majik. Second video out of 3 for NBA Jam Tournament Edition on Super Nintendo. I'll be back hopefully next week sometime and wrap up the playthrough of this game. We're getting down to the teams that are pretty bad, though. You know, we're getting down to Tier 4 and Tier 5, so these teams aren't useless, but they're going to have some weaknesses for sure. So anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy watching the NBA Finals if you're into that. Maybe you like some World Cup women's soccer and all that. A lot of good sports happening. We got some, I think the Blues and Bruins are playing right about now. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have an awesome night, and stay tuned for some Tecmo and some late night with Lumberjack Cracks.